Hi everyone, Herman here. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I use my iPad to plan projects inside our company. And you can see here how I use my iPad today to handwrite some things here related to the project that I am planning. And I'll speak more about this project here in a second, but you can see here, all these things are handwritten. I even sketched out some things here. I love using my iPad. It is literally the biggest productivity hack that I have when it comes to work. It's just working on my iPad. I love the way it feels to handwrite stuff out and have it appear digitally here and being able to access it from the computer. It has both the benefit of having the feeling of writing mixed in with the digital ability of being able to access the work from anywhere, being able to save it everywhere, not having to, if you have your work inside a notebook, then it's hard to get it out. I'll show you here a couple of tricks that I do whenever I handwrite stuff out, how I am able to turn that into digital text using AI. So I'll walk you through that super easily. But yeah, so that's what I did today. Is I worked on creating this plan. So this was something that I needed to work on. And for a little while, I was procrastinating doing this project. And whenever that happens, whenever I procrastinate, I usually think to myself, okay, I'm clearly not doing the work. What can I do to make it fun for myself so that I actually want to do it? And one of the things that I always think about is let me do the work from my iPad. So I always try and figure out how I can fit in as much work, how I can turn the work that I have to do into work that can be done from the iPad. So that's a productivity hack for myself. But anyway, yeah, you could see here the Miro board. So the project is titled Revamping the Onboarding Project. I'll just give you an update because I'm not just going to be speaking about the iPad and how I'm using it, but I also want to let you know a little bit about our company and give you an update as to what we're doing. So this project that I'm planning on right here is called Revamping the Onboarding Project. It's inside a Miro board. And to me, also Miro is one of the best tools out there, pairs really well with the iPad, especially the two biggest tools for me when it comes to getting work done are Apple Notes. If I want to handwrite stuff out, I use Apple Notes. If I want, the cool thing about Apple Notes is that you can handwrite stuff out and you could also type it. And if I have a clear idea for what I want to do, if I know, for example, right here, these paragraphs I wrote inside, I type them out inside Apple Notes, sometimes literally typing them out, sometimes through my phone. I just try and find where the creativity flows the best for me. Sometimes it's talking to my phone. Sometimes it's writing it out, typing it out on Apple Notes on the computer. If I know what I'm going to say, then I just got to get it out as fast as possible. Then I'll just type it out. But sometimes I have no idea where the work is going. I need to brainstorm. And the fact that I don't know where it's going is making me procrastinate. So sitting down and actually getting the work done, because when I sit down, I don't have a clear direction as to where I want to go. I don't know what I need to, I just don't know how things are going to look like. And so I end up typing a word, deleting it, typing a sentence, deleting that, and it just feels awful. And so instead of trying to come up instead of sitting down and doing the work, I'll sit there and I'll get frustrated because I'm not getting the work done. I'm not seeing paragraphs being created, again, because I don't know where things are going. So when I need clarity around something, if I don't know where something is going, how I should do the work, that's when the iPad shines, because I could open up a Miro board. I can open up something called Freeform on the iPad, this app that's kind of like Miro, or I can open up an Apple Note and I just start brainstorming and I'll doodle things. I'll create sketches like this, or I'll write things out. It's so easy to just grab a paragraph right here, move it around. So from that perspective, the work is a lot more fluid. So because it's not rigid, when I'm writing a paragraph, it just feels you're putting in sentences. To me, it's frustrating not having an idea logically flow from one to the next. And so it just feels frustrating. And so to me, it's just so much easier to write down a thought over here, write down a thought over there, move it around, see how it fits together, write more things. I call it kind of the way I think about it in my mind is kind of like sweeping. So I used to live in this apartment many years ago where it was white tile floors and they were kind of glossy. So you could never tell, or it was hard to tell when it was dusty, because it would take a really long while until like the tiles, I just never let it get so dirty that they were dark. But I would sweep every once in a while. And the thing about it is, like, you would never be able to tell that you were making progress with the sweeping. So you would sweep for a while, and like it was like you weren't doing anything. But after some time, the dust started accumulating into clumps. But I always remember that as kind of like, and so I think of that as the creative process, as a metaphor for the creative process. At the beginning, like, you don't know where it's going, and then so I start just putting down random thoughts on my mirror board, and then eventually, like, I start to group them together, combine them, see how that looks like, and then it starts to take shape. So that, to me, is like why I love my iPad so much, is because it helps me, for me, a lot of the work that I do has to do with planning, seeing the big picture, connecting ideas, and I think about that visually. And it is a process in which I have to move things around, like I have to reorganize, and it just, it has to feel very fluid. This is where I love my iPad for this. Anyway, so this project, I'll give you the backstory of this project. So we recently moved to this new strategy where we're trying to offer people free trials to get them to join our services. So I've considered our company and what our strengths are. And I think one of our biggest strengths is the fact that we have a team of support people, client success people that do a very good job at onboarding new clients and explaining to them how the software works, explaining to them how, like, what we do to our clients, training them. And so we're very good at hand holding people. And I think that sets us apart from other companies that are helping that are in our market. And so instead of trying to attract clients by doing some heavy sales, I thought, our strongest point is in our sales. Our strongest point is our onboarding and providing our service. So why don't we make that the thing that acquires new customers? Why don't we give people free trials and then have them like try out our service, see how much help we give them, see the results that they get, and have them fall in love with us so much that they're wanting to stay after. So that's the idea, right? And to me, I wish, I want to make this happen. I want to make it so that we acquire clients through a free trial that is able to turn in people who try out our free trial, then stay, have a good conversion rate. Anyway, all of this to say that we just started trying this not too long ago. We've already had about 12 people do the free trial or something like that. And we've had about 6 of them convert from a free trial into long members, and 6 of them lasted about a month, and then they just dropped off. So about half. So I was thinking about how to improve that and see if there was a way where we can get more people to stay. And right now, because our onboarding, so I'll explain it in this way. Usually before we started doing this free trial thing, the way people would join our services is that they would chat with me first about, what their goals were, what they were interested in, what problems they had. And I would sell them, and I would tell them, like, hey, here's what we do. Here's how we could help. Here's everything that our company could do that you're struggling with, and how we would be able to solve those problems. So I would sell people on our services, and they would be excited to work with us. They would understand the value. But because we did the free trial, sometimes people have joined us without even chatting with me. And the onboarding process for us is just built to get people set up and ready to go as fast as possible. But it's not built at the moment to sell them on our company. And so that's where I feel like we need to revamp our onboarding process to sell them on our company. And so this is why I'm creating this plan. Now, when it comes to the way we create plans inside our company, we use a framework here that we got taught by one of our business mentors. His name is Alex Sharfin, and he taught us this framework for planning projects. It's called an OT, and then the last one here is A. So an OTA, you can see here the initials, OTA. So what an OTA is, so you're detailing what is the outcome of this project. So when it comes to transparency, is like, what are the results that you're trying to achieve? How are we going to measure success? And then you have the accountability, which means like who's responsible for doing what, right? So essentially it's like, why do we want to achieve this? What does success look like? How are we going to measure success so that we know we're on track? And then the accountability part is like, what actually needs to be done and who's going to be doing that thing. So keep that in mind. And so here I first started, so on Apple Notes, I started writing I started this project, like why do I want to do the onboarding revamp, and then I wrote the why, then I wrote what outcomes am I hoping to achieve with it. Well, really the next thing is like, how does this support our annual objective? So I said, if we can revamp our onboarding, then we can increase our retention and we would get more clients. And then then I have here the client. So we got to say like, okay, what is this project? What kind of function will this help in the business? And it's client retention. So this will help with retention. Then I wrote here, what outcomes am I hoping to achieve? So we want people to understand our company story. We want people to see the success that our clients have had. So we have here, so essentially what outcomes are you looking to get out of building this project? This is important. So this OTA framework right here that I'm walking you through, this is super important. Think about it when you're working with a team and you're needing people, you have people who have ideas for things to create in the company. Like before just going out there and executing, they need to, for example, they need to let the business owner, why are they doing this? Why is this important? What is the goal that they're trying to achieve? What outcomes are they hoping to get this to get from this? So they need this, or if you're an employee and then you write one of these, this helps you sell the vision for this project. So like I'm writing this, and even though I'm the founder of the company, I'm going to be using this to tell our team like, hey, this is what we're doing. Here's why we're doing why we're doing. So that way, if they have to do things, like if they have to help out, they're more bought in. They know exactly why we're doing what we're doing. They can understand not just like what they should be doing, but understand the why. So it gets them more bought in. It gets them to understand what this strategy is, why we're going in the direction that we're going. So it's just super helpful. A super helpful document. When it comes to detailing out projects and making sure that it's written in a way that somebody else can see it and understand like, okay, here, I understand why they want to do it. So a little bit, it's like storytelling when it comes to the why. Then you also need to plan out. So like for me, I needed to plan out what videos am I going to actually make that are going to teach people. So I wrote here, okay, so before our kickoff call, which is our first onboarding call here, I want to make a video telling our company story. I want to tell the clients the problems that we help them solve. I want to show them the results that our clients have gotten. So I was brainstorming and writing all of these things on my iPad as to what are all the videos that I needed to make. So I wrote them all down, and then so this one, our company story, I wrote it here, and now I'm starting to script it out and think about like, what do I want to say, so that by the time this is all done, this project is all mapped out. Like all I got to do is just turn on the camera like this and just like knock out the videos and get this done. So yeah, this is the project right now that I'm doing. This is what I worked on today. I worked on all of this on my iPad, which makes the work super fun. I could get into this flow state and just like the ideas come a lot easier. I'm like reorganizing the work experience overall is just so much more fun. But yeah, that's about it. That's what I got done today. That's how I use my iPad to plan projects for our company. I also use it in notes, but I'll save that for some other videos. If you want to know anything else about how I use my iPad or anything else that you're curious about when it comes to our company, or if you enjoyed this video, leave me a comment down below and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.